3, 2, 1. Approaching freezing. So this is a usual autumn day. We have not had, this is quite amazing. It is October 9th, and at my home I have a few tomato plants still outside and some flowers, and when it freezes they will wither and die, but it has not happened yet, so we'll see. As we prepare for winter weather, and we have some people in our class, or at least one, who has not had a Michigan winter. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Who has not had a Michigan winter? Ola?
Yeah.
Okay, John, no winter weather. So we will be expecting snow, sleet, ice. What do we call that from the sky? The big word. The big word. Who remembers? Very good. Precipitation. Remember? Rain, snow, hail. Remember hail? What is hail? Ice balls, little ice straight out of the sky. Sleet. These are the big ones. Freezing rain. Yeah? Okay, oh, on paper, okay. Good morning, Jamal, come in. Somewhere I have a sign-in sheet. Who has my sign-in sheet? So in Florida, we talked about yesterday, we talked about hurricane.
Yes.
What's the name of this hurricane? Hurricane Milton. Hurricane Milton is still help me, Mark, lift over that back. Thank you. Thank you, so I don't rip it. Here we are, US of A. Abdo, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back. We missed you. So Hurricane Milton is here, and in the Gulf of Mexico. And so it's here coming in this direction and going to hit somewhere in this area. 155-mile-an-hour winds. And it is almost a category 5, which is the highest. And two things will happen here. When the ocean pushes all this water against the shore that's flooding, then when the wind pushes houses, buildings, cars, that's windstorm. And so we'll talk about that a little bit because it's a real issue. So it's going to hit here, and it's hundreds of miles from one side to the other. And some people have said this may be the biggest, remember biggest?
Yes.
Bigger, biggest, the highest hurricane that they have had in Florida. We will see. Sometimes hurricanes tend to just kind of fall apart a bit. And sometimes they get more intense. And what was interesting about this hurricane that I heard today is that not only are we having a hurricane, but inside the hurricane, there are tornadoes. Do we know tornadoes?
Yeah.
Tornadoes are the ones, the funnel clouds that come down and pick things up and knock them around. And so that's quite amazing. I guess I should do this because this word came up. Gulf of Mexico. You will see that word when we talk about bodies of water. We have, oh, another new student. Come in. How are you? Good. Anas? Please. My sign-in sheet.
Abdul.
Yes. Abdul, can you show him where to sign? Anas, do you have a pen? No? Okay. Do you have paper? Do you have a notebook?
No.
Okay. I have both. I'll bring a folder for you on Monday. Pen. So we have different words for bodies of water. The big ones, ocean. There's a number of oceans that we have. The Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Antarctic, Arctic. Those are the big waters, water of salt water.
Saltwater.
But we also have the word sea, S-E-A. Do we know that word? What is a sea?
Small ocean.
Yes, it's part of the ocean. So we talk about the Mediterranean Sea. You know that one? Where Italy, pardon? Greece, Egypt, Morocco, Libya, Spain, all part of Mediterranean Sea. So it's connected to the ocean because it's salt water, but we call it a sea. And then we have here the Gulf of Mexico, another word for salt water and a small body of water. So it identifies places. See if we have another one on here. Here's one. Do we see this right here? Alaska. This water, part of the Pacific Ocean, is called the Gulf of Alaska. So just to give us a few of those names. We have some others and then we'll talk about them at some other point. Here's one, the Bering Sea between Russia and Alaska. Why they call this a sea and not a gulf, I'm not exactly sure. Usually a gulf is like a bay or where there's a space like that. So let's go back here. I don't want to break it. Okay. Like that. Put this back. Well, do you think I can introduce our new students, or will someone else come in? What do you think? We'll take a chance. So we have three new students today. We'll start with Amar. Amar, if I said, please introduce yourself, you would say, my name is...
My name is Amar.
Okay, and Amar, where are you from?
I'm from Yemen.
And what city in Yemen?
Sana'a.
Pardon?
Sana'a.
Sana'a. And how long have you been in USA?
4 years.
4 years, okay. Do you know anyone else in class? Anyone? Okay. Have you lived in Hamtramck for 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this your first class in English?
Yeah.
I can tell that you've been here a while because you sound quite Americanized. Welcome, Amar. And once again, for those of you that just came in, this is me, Michael Stenvig. I go by the name of Mike. And this is my cell phone number where you can text me, call me, and you should write that down. Keep that. The next one, Amira. Welcome. Amira, introduce yourself. My name.
My name is Amira Shiga.
Okay.
From Yemen. That's Sana'a.
And how long have you been in USA?
1 week.
You've been here for 1 week, but how long have you been living in USA? When did you first come?
1 week. In Yemen, 1 week.
Before that, where were you?
1 year.
1 year? You were in my class last year or 2 years ago? Was it last year?
درست معاهم قبل هنا.
كم سنة درستنا؟
درسنا 1 year.
1 year. Welcome back. What does that mean? Welcome back.
مرحبا بعودتي.
Welcome again. Yes. And then Anas, how are you?
I'm good.
Anas, introduce yourself. My name.
Anas Al-Jadi.
Pardon?
My name is Anas
Anas.
Al-Jadi, yes. From Yemen,
Okay.
and Sana'a, city Sana'a.
Okay.
And I've been here like 8 months.
8 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome. Okay. It's kind of interesting when I get groups of people. Two people from Sana'a, usually earlier this year, is an Sana'a. Interesting. Why? I don't know. I don't know. Those of you that just came in, there are things that we have been doing together, and I hope I can make this make sense to you. So as we go into things that we've been talking about, will make sense for you. When do we have class?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
What time?
9 a.m. to 1 to 11.
And we usually stop about 11.
Yeah.
And so I will, today I'm going to Horizon. I will get more materials for you, notebooks and folders, paper, things to write on. But I do ask, please, I will give you a folder. This is a folder. And please, if you would, keep your work in here so that when you come to class, you will have the work from the day before or the day before that, because we may go back and look at it.
All right.
Now, some people are busy, I understand that. And if you can't remember to bring this back, you can keep it over here. Put your name on it so I know who it belongs to. Put it on this counter over here, this cabinet, and then you can pick it up when you come in. That way I know that you're going to have the materials that you had from the day before. We want to cover two things today. I'll do the housing first, then we're going to talk about this guy. Sitting Bull. Has anyone heard of Sitting Bull? No? Well, I hope you find it interesting. So let's see. Did everyone get this? Anas, did you get this one? Abdo, did you get it? Did I give you one? Thank you. You need one? All right. This is, these words are sometimes used in a way that can be confusing. Housing. Housing has to do with people having a place of shelter, so that when the storms come, you have a place to go. Housing. All kinds. So we talk about a house. A house is one kind of housing. Not everyone in the world lives in a house. There are different things that people live in. So when we think about here in Hamtramck, many people live in a house. In New York City, what? Apartments, yes. Other places in the world, people may live in a condo. They may live in a hut, a yurt, made from animal skin. They may live in a tent. They may live in a trailer. They may live in a house made of ice. They may live on a boat. These are all kinds of housing. Home. When we talk about a home, if a person has a place where they can go for shelter, that's where they live. Their home. And so we often talk about people that are homeless. What does that mean?
live in a street. Or the house.
They don't have an address. Remember we talked about an address? If you don't have an address, you are considered homeless. Okay. That means that perhaps someone has a place where they can go. The basement of a church or community center. They are homeless because it's not their address. So we'll get into this in a little bit. But over here on this housing, one of the things we have been talking about for those of you that are new, we've been talking about questions and answers. And so we talked about these are questions that we answer with yes
or no.
Do you live in Hamtramck?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Did you go to New York last week?
No, I didn't. Yes, I did.
Yes,
I did.
No, I didn't.
This one. Are you living in Hamtramck?
Yes,
I
I am. No, I am not.
Will you move to another city?
Yes,
No,
I will
I-
not. Or yes,
Yes, I will.
Or
No.
No, I will not.
will not? These are yes or no questions. But then we have the other ones, the big ones that we have.
So what is the difference between do you and are you? From the case.
Do you know that?
Are you?
Okay.
Good question. Okay.
Do you want the cookie?
Comes from the verb do. Do you want? I do want.
No, I don't want.
Do
Yes, I
you want coffee?
Yes,
Yes,
yes, I do.
No, I
No, next one.
Do.
How you class? Yes, I
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. No, I'm not.
Who said no? Right. I'm glad you're here. Is, are, were, was, am. These are all parts of the verb to be, the verb of being. I am a person. You are a person. A house is a thing. These are all parts of the verb to be. But this one, do you want? Goes with this.
Come with the verb. But
It works with this verb.
That's she one.
All part of the verb. This gives it past tense. So you can't say, you drive to school. You will hear that. People will say that. But what they mean is,
Past verb.
did,
Washington.
did you drive to school? Did that answer your question a bit? So when you have these questions, do or did or does,
Yes.
then you are going to look for the other verb. The other verb. Do you like coffee? The verb like. Did you sleep last night? Did sleep. And this is the past. Did is the past tense form. The most common one that gets us into trouble is the verb to be. They sometimes get mixed up. Are you in school?
Yes, I do. Yes, I am.
Do are different verbs. Keep them straight.
Do you do that? Yes, I do.
No. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. So keep them straight.
Do.
And then we'll practice so that we have the tense correct. So, how about this one?
No.
No, I don't.
Keep that
Yes, for
note
good.
straight. Otherwise, what?
Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, for good. No, I don't.
These are question words. Verb to be
No, I don't. Yes, I
and do and it. But today we're moving on
Yes, I am.
to
Are you married?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
These are question words. Okay. This one,
Place.
Place.
just future tense.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Good with these? WH words. Why, when, where,
Will.
who, and what. Notice that we use who for people, what for things. So, what is this? Okay, we would not say, who is this? That's
No.
for people. So, I'll give you a few minutes to do letter A on here. Try this on your own and answer the questions. And you don't, I'm not interested in factual information about you, but for example, well, try to answer these as best you can. Amira, may I open this? Yes? This is beautiful. I'll wear this when it gets a little colder. See if I could get it on because I'm too big.
Wow. You are handsome.
What? Thank you. What is this called? In English, what would we call this?
No.
A vest.
Vest.
Vest. In Arabic, what would we call? What would I call it? Pardon? Can you read it? In English?
Yelek.
Yelek?
Yelek.
Yelek.
دولة.
Oh,
دولة.
Dola?
دولة.
Dola.
دولة.
Dola.
Dola.
دولة.
لا، دولة.
Dola. Dola.
Listen.
France.
Pardon?
What is that?
Vest.
جيلة.
Gilet.
Gilet in French?
Yeah.
جيلة.
France, that's Chile.
In Bengali? Name?
C'est un Chile.
What would you say it?
Yes.
Kurti. I have a kurti at home. It's longer. Much longer. I have two kurtis at home. I went to an Indian wedding, like Bengali wedding. Thank you. Too warm in here for me. What city is this from? Sanaa? Usually Kurta longer. Beautiful. I like this bag. Yemeni coffee. Amiri, you must like coffee. Give me a second. Let's do the first part, and then I'm going to give you a spelling test. Okay? So let's do this first. We'll start in the back. Up to read number 1 for us on here.
What do you like?
No.
You like?
So, what would be a good answer? All of you will have a different answer. I live in Hamtramck, he says. What else could you say?
I live in the US.
I live in USA.
I live on the Yemen Street.
I live on Yemen Street. So, when you have a question like this, where do you live? You might think of yourself, what information do they need to know? Do they need to know my address?
Your
Just
phone.
my city?
Your phone.
Well, now you wouldn't give the phone number. Where do you live? Okay. This would be the place where your home is. Anas, number 2.
What type of home do you live?
Read again.
What type of home do you live in?
Notice we talk about live in.
Live in.
So that means the building. So when we say, what type of house do you live in? What are they asking?
House.
Apartment.
About 10.
On here they have a house. Here in Hamtramck, we have, I don't think there's any apartment buildings. Well, there is. The senior center down on Holbrook. Do you know the senior center? Do you know Holbrook? Joseph Campo? There's a senior building, right? If you're going into Al Haramain, there's a building there. It's for seniors. What is that, seniors? A building for senior citizens. Any idea? A senior, older person of a certain age. It's a government building for older people who can live there, and it's so if someone 25 wants to move in, they say no. 65, yes. Who remembers condo? What is a condo?
Like one floor.
A condo is a special designation for a certain kind of building because of the laws. So there are some buildings that look the same in the city, and they say, well, these are apartments, these are condos. The arrangements and rules are a little bit different, but it's like an apartment, a condo.
Is there a condo in the Hamtramck?
I don't think so. I don't think so. So let's go over here. MD, number 3.
When did you move here?
Okay. And so how would you answer that?
5 months ago.
5 months ago.
5 years ago.
How else could you say it? When did you move here? Pardon?
I moved there
On December.
since 2 years ago.
Well, that's the ago.
Yes.
But you could also say,
On
I moved there April 1st.
Okay.
Give the date. So if you're giving time in the past, you use ago, otherwise you use the date. And the next one, number 4, Lupdana, number 4.
How much do you pay for rent or mortgage?
Okay. What is the difference between rent and mortgage? What is rent? Okay. What is mortgage? Do we know mortgage? Yes. A bank loan means that the bank owns your house and you are paying the bank like rent toward purchasing your home, mortgage. So it's a different arrangement. It doesn't always be a mortgage with the bank. It could be some other financial institution, mortgage. And number 5 is interesting, Claudine.
Why did you move there?
Now this is reason.
Because
I moved there because my brother lives here.
Because.
Because
Why because? Why because? Number 6. Jenny.
me,
Next one. No, in the back, yeah.
Only while you.
Number 6.
There's a number 6 here. Only like while you.
who lives
With you.
with you? Who lives?
Oh, that's a is.
Yes.
Who live while you.
With you.
With you. You see, W.I.?
With you.
Okay. Who live with you.
Very good.
Who lives? Who lives? Who lives?
Who live with you.
Notice who lives. Okay, remember, keep track of these S's on the end of
Who
words
lives.
and use them. Who lives with you?
My family.
With
my family,
my family,
my daughter,
parents, my wife, my husband, whoever it is who lives with you. Down at the bottom, you'll notice
my daughter.
do, does, and did. Okay? So, I, you, we, they, you, do. He, she, it does. In past tense, everybody gets a did. I did, you did, they did, we did, and so on. And notice on the bottom, who lives with you, present. Who lived with you, the D is past tense. Lives and lived. Go to backside, part C. Well, I guess we'll do the test first, then we'll come on to this. Test time. I hope I ran out of paper, but hopefully all of you have some paper. Do you have a notebook? Yes? Take it from? There's only 10 words. You don't want to take that out of there. You can let that.
No,
Everyone have some paper?
All right.
Yes? For those of you that are new, do the best you can. Okay? Sound these out to write them. I'm going to give you a spelling test on 10 words that we discussed. So at least 3 of you were not here when we did it. But do the best you can. So you need paper. Do you have paper? You just need use one of those. I'll get more paper today. Okay. I want to see how you, when you write, if you haven't learned these, even if you have not heard this before, I want to see how you sound out the letter sounds in English. So the first word is record. Record. I keep a record of who is in class. So number 1, write the word record. 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 You have paper, Mom? You're all done? With all 10 words? You know all the words. Second word is print. Print. I want to print some papers.
Okay.
Print. Print. Number 3, mystery. Mystery. I like to read a mystery story. Mystery. Number 4, apologize. When people apologize, they say, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Apologize. Apologize.
And apologize.
Number 5, influenced. Influenced. My teacher influenced me. Influenced. Influenced.
Influence.
Influenced. Influenced. Influenced.
Influence or influenced?
Past tense. Influenced. Past tense. Influenced. Number 6, urges. Urges. He urges me to do my best work. Urges. Urges. Number 7, copy. Please copy my homework. Copy. Number 8, disappointed. Disappointed. I was disappointed when I did not win the game. Disappointed. Disappointed. represents. The lawyer represents the client. Represents. Represents. Number 10, scholar. He is a scholar of history. Scholar. Anyone need me to repeat a word?
Yes.
Which one?
Number 6. Origin.
No, which one?
Origin.
Number 6?
Yeah.
Urges.
Origins.
Urges.
S-O-Z.
What do you think?
Origin.
Which number? 6? Urges. He urges me to do my best work. Please do your best work. Urges. It's very similar to the word encouraged, but this is present tense. The other is past. Any other questions? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to write these up on the board, and then you are going to look at your answer. And don't erase it. Don't cross it off. But if it's not correct, write the correct spelling and another space on your paper. Okay? Because I want to make sure that you spell these correctly.
It's very easy for you.
Yeah, France is easy for me.
Yes.
Because I'm learning France. The France, le français, c'est le français qui fait que mon anglais est pas. C'est le français qui m'a pas. Parce que si tu me parles,
So you can see in the back.
c'est l'anglais en français. C'est le français.
Leaving? Oh, yeah, of course. Okay. Record, print, mystery, apologize. Apologize has a Z.
Yes.
Z. Why a Z and not an S? Because. Influenced. Influenced has fluent. You see that? Influenced. Urges. Copy. Disappointed. Represents. And scholar. Notice a couple things here when we see these words. The word scholar, think about the word school. S-C-H. Notice we've talked about C-H sound like ch, like cheese. But when you've got S-C-H is sky. This one is a difficult word, mystery. Notice that Y often is a vowel. So it's a vowel here. Mystery. How did we do? Anyone get all of them correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I lost 2 words.
Every day.
I have to give you harder words next time. Abdo, can you see that?
Yeah.
And please put your name on your paper on the top somewhere so that I can look at it. Then I'll collect these and then go back to page, no, I think I want to wait. I want to wait till Monday to do page 41. So can you keep this until Monday? And bring it back so that I don't have to make more copies. Because I want to have enough time to talk about Sitting Bull. See you Monday. Take this, if you have time, read this, we'll talk more about it on Monday. Can you stay? Have a good weekend. Okay, you're welcome. And let me collect. What's your name? Okay. And my clipboard. This right here is signing. Yeah, this is for me. This is where, remember we talked about C and E. Print. Got this one copied. Everyone have the story of Sitting Bull? No? Okay. She's missing. Yes. You're coming. Spelling paper. Okay.
What's your name?
Just put your name. No, just the spelling. Spelling. Extra?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
extra.
You're still writing them down? Spelling? Spelling? Did I get yours? Thank you. Let's go on here to Sitting Bull, and let's take a look at the picture. And by just looking at the picture, what do we know? What can you say about this person?
It's the latest American for the Native American.
Ola says Native American. How do you know that?
American, Indian.
How do you know?
Their shape.
What?
The picture.
In the picture, what's different?
This yeah.
Hey, look.
The clothing, the dress and the clothing, and the hair. So, if you know a little bit about American history, you know this is a picture of We're going to talk a little bit about American history, and we will be talking about Native American people who are indigenous. What does that mean, indigenous? Indigenous. Original. First people, indigenous. The ones who have been here the longest, first people. And we have to remember that this is going to be part of American history and how it affects us and what that means for us, and also because it's history and it's interesting. So, why his name, Sitting Bull? What? Red Indian? Okay. Let me finish this. I'll answer your question. Sitting bull. What is a bull? What is a bull?
Last name? Or
Bull.
no, trip.
A cow. Do we know a cow?
Yeah.
Yes.
A cow is an animal that we get milk from.
Yeah.
That's the female. But the male is called a bull. And I lived on a farm. And we had cows. And they gave milk. And they're nice, you know. Nice cow. Very pleasant. But the bull, bleh,
Lamb.
and they'll kill you. Horns, shoot, and they're much bigger and strong. So he got this name because of his person. So in many cultures, you get a name not at birth because, oh, I name you after your father. I name you after your uncle. I name you after someone I like. But in this indigenous culture, people would often get a name based on their personality. So in this case, we have the name Bull. Is that weak or strong?
Big.
Big and strong.
Yeah.
But now, it's not fighting bull, it's sitting bull. What does that mean? Sitting. So let's think about that. I'm big and I'm strong and I'm powerful and I'm sitting. What am I doing sitting?
Think.
Thinking. He's using his wisdom. And he's not just growing crazy, he is thinking. He's sitting and waiting. So, this is the article that's in the book. And it's not the word accurate, doesn't tell all the information, so I'll try to fill in a little bit because he is a very interesting person in American history. We all know that here in Hamtramck was home to Native Americans, indigenous people, not his group, a different group. Sitting Bull was from the Dakotas, so in the middle America. Here in Michigan, there were other Native American groups, here in Hamtramck. So at some point, you may be in your backyard and doing some gardening, and you will find some things made by Native Americans. They lived here because it was pleasant. People hunted, they fished, they lived along the river for thousands of years. Let's read this story and then we'll answer some questions. So we'll start in the back today. Abdo, we're going to start with you. We're going to have you read to us the story. Nice and loud.
This is a story about a famous native American named
Sitting
Bull.
Bull. Notice
bowl ingredients.
Bull, oh. Bill, eh.
Bar,
Ball,
bell,
bell. Okay.
bar.
Ball. Double ball. I said bull, bull. But anyway, this one bull, the U sound, oh, bull. Another line, Abdul, keep going.
It then
It begins,
it begins in the 1800 morning Bible.
wait, 18, this one?
1800.
Yes. We would often describe that when we're reading, we'd say 1800s. You have everything you need? We'll see you Monday. Okay, very good. Next line.
Morning,
Many.
many Bible, people one and to life on day
To live.
to day
Land, wait, Abdul. Land to live on. See that?
land to life on
Live,
live on day
live on. They,
go west,
no wait, they are
they are
called
called terrace
what?
sitters.
Settlers. Yes. Settlers.
Settlers.
Yeah. That's the name of people who go from one place to another to live. So settle means to not move, but we stop. I'm moving from this place to this. I come here, I stay here, I settle here, settle. Anas, go ahead for us. More.
More and more still.
Settlers.
Settlers. More west, but not native, but Native American live there too, and settlers and Native American
Wait, the
fight.
settlers. Go back, you got, skipped a line. The settlers,
The settlers and Native American fighting.
okay,
Many die. The U.S. government went peace.
peace, okay. Let's move on, MD. That's what,
They are
they,
to put the
hold on, they decide,
and they put the neighbors.
start off, they decide.
They are decide to put
They
they
decide
decide to put the Native American on reservation are special place where the Native American must
Okay, wait, hold on. Okay. So this word reservations, a special place. Now, this word reservation comes up. We use this in different ways here. So for example, if I said, oh, I am going to a very special restaurant. I'm going to Millstone restaurant. And I want a table for me and my family. I call and I make a reservation. It's saved for me. So that's a reservation. It's kept for you. Is that a good thing? That's a good thing. But now we're talking about this one. A reservation for the people. You can't live where you want. You have to live here. You can't leave.
Here.
You have to stay here. Okay. That's what they're talking about, a special reservation. Okay. Who is next? Buddy? Lucdana, were you? Yeah, Lucdana's next.
Many do not want to live on reservations. They are very angry. Sitting Bull is the leader of a tribe of Native Americans. He is angry too.
Okay, very good. Claudine?
General Custer is a famous general in the U.S. Army. He has 600 soldiers. He wants the Native Americans to live on a reservation. It is 1,866.
Okay, wait.
76.
Oh, thank you. 76.
Okay, let's take a look at that number. Usually, we would say 1876. That's usually the way we give that in dates and years. Okay, go ahead, Claudine. It is,
And his soldiers fight 13 birdsmen. General Custer and all his men die. This fight is the famous battle of Little Big Horn.
Little Big Horn.
Little Big Horn.
Yeah, notice that the names here are given. Animals had a very important part in Native American culture. So, Sitting Bull is an animal. And Little Bighorn, what is a bighorn? Yes, it's a bighorn is a sheep with big horns. Next paragraph, Yanni.
The Native American win an important fight, but it is not enough.
Enough.
Yeah. There are many more soldiers. The Native American go to now to Canada, but it is cold in Canada. They miss their home. Sitting Bull decide to go back. He gave himself up to the USA Army. He is a prisoner for 2 years.
Okay. Jamal, next one.
Now it is 1885. Sitting Bull is a famous person. People say he is a great leader. He wants his people to be happy. Finally, the government decided to free Sitting Bull. Years passed
Sitting Bull is still the strongest Native American leader in the country.
Okay, next, coming up this way. Yes. Lega, you're next. The government. Afraid. Sitting bull. Settlers. Arrest him. What does that mean, arrest?
Arrest.
They, yes, they arrest you and put you in jail. Shots. What does that mean? Shots. Bang, bang. With the gun. Wait. How are we going to say that? 1890. Sitting Bull. Dead. Sitting Bull. History. Was he an important person? Why? Why do you think he's important? Why? From the story. Hold on, what were you going to say?
Because
He was trying to protect his people. Remember I told you that this story has some information that doesn't tell much of the story. So we do know that he lived. That's fact. And while he was a prisoner, a woman from Boston went to meet him and took down his story and painted his picture, which is famous. And he spoke with her about his life and why he did this. Now, where did all this happen? Where did it happen? From the story, where do you think it is? There's a couple things in here that give where, place. We know it's in America, in USA, but Mark, can I one more time? Yes. Yes. So, what we know and what we don't know. This one. This story takes place in the 1800s, and the dates that they give here were 1876 was the big battle. I always think of this 1876 because that was the year my grandfather was born. My grandfather was born in 1876. So I always think, well, this is history, but it happened during the time when a person I knew and loved was alive. So it makes it kind of real. And notice Canada and US. And notice there's a boundary here. There's no wall. There's no river. You can go from North Dakota, Canada, North Dakota. It's just open land. Today, now there might be a fence, but in 1876, the people, Sitting Bull and his people, they were Native Americans. Their name was the Sioux. The Sioux people. They lived here. And they hunted and lived and had their life. But remember in our story it says, people came, the settlers, to settle, and they wanted land. And so they put the Native Americans into a small area. They can't leave. But he escaped one time and went to Canada. And what it doesn't tell you, it said it was too cold. Well, they knew about cold and how to deal with cold, but it was a matter of food. There was no food. And they came back to the Dakotas. They came back to the Dakotas because there was food there. So he came back for his people because he could not stand to see his people starve. Starvation is a very unpleasant way to die. Not very nice. So this is interesting about the people in this story. It talks about General Custer. Did we see that one? General Custer? The soldier? The U.S. soldier? General Custer and his men died. The Battle of Little Bighorn. General Custer is from Michigan. He was born here in Michigan. And he was a famous general in the U.S. Army. And we talk here a little bit about how history, when people learn more about history, they see things a little bit different. When I first started teaching as a teacher way back when, in the 1970s, one of the places where I taught was a school in Detroit on the west side called Custer Elementary. Famous man, General Custer. But as time has gone on, and the indigenous people, the Native Americans people said, we have not been treated well. We were mistreated. Let's look at history. And what happened? General Custer killed my whole people. He killed them. He is not a hero. Something has changed. And so the name of that school where I taught has been changed. They took his name off because history now sees him in a different way. You will see more and more of this in American history as we talk about things in U.S. history. Everything that people did back then was not so nice. So when we talk about the United States becoming a big country and moving west, there were people there. When you go to somebody's place where they live and say, get out, eventually people there will say, no, we're going to stay here and we're going to fight for our rights. So this is a kind of an interesting story about Sitting Bull. I'm going to let you take this home and answer the questions on the back. Yes.
Mr. Bible of this man,
Yes.
sitting bull.
Sitting Bull.
What is the original name?
That is his name that his people gave him. His people gave him that name. Maybe when he was a little boy, they called him something else. But as he became a strong leader of the Native American people, that was the name. He was a chief, a tribal chief, in charge of thinking of what the people needed to do. He was very smart man, but you know, the Native Americans here in the USA were not treated well here in the USA. And things have changed
It is all over the world.
all over the world, yes. But some things have changed, and life for many of the Native American people is changing. A good example is, we'll go from here in Michigan with the Native American peoples. We're going to go all across here to here in this area. You can see a river here, the Klamath River. The people on this side, one of the most important things they had for food was fish. Anybody here like fish? Does anyone here know salmon?
Yeah.
You like salmon?
All right.
They did too. And the salmon would go out to the ocean, get big and fat, and then they would go to the river and they would lay their eggs and make more fish. And then this baby fish would go back up to the ocean like this. And so at some point in the past 70 years maybe, or maybe 1940s or 50s, a dam was put here on this. Do you know a dam? A dam is where you stop the water. Like a dam stops the water, and they use that dam to make the water go through a turbine for energy, for electricity. The problem is, you make a dam, how can the fish go upstream? They can't. So the Klamath people here have enough influence today in 2024 that I think it was last year or maybe the year before, the dam was taken out. They removed the dam. Why? Because those people said, we have to do this. We are killing the fish. We will not have salmon. And salmon, I don't know if you go to the store and buy a pound of salmon, is it cheap or expensive?
Expensive.
It's expensive.
There is a one famous fish.
When I was young, fish was so cheap, you could give it away. And now it's expensive because of things like that. So that's an interesting story, and if you would take this home, answer the questions, we'll come back, and I'll take a look at your spelling words. And welcome my new students, and thank you, Amira. Welcome back, and thank you for the beautiful gift. And we'll see you on Monday. Okay. Amara, namaste. Mira. See you. Have a good weekend. How we doing? I'm good. Yes. Question? Yes, all of these. What is that? Well, I want to keep track of your work because you're getting credit for this. So, any questions? We good? Okay. Um, Good. Can you do this one? Try this at home?
What?
Homework.
Today?
Tomorrow, bring
Okay.
back on Monday. Do this one. Try this one. Okay?
Okay.
If it's too hard for you.